Well, hi, back in the patch. We've had quite a good week this week. Plants are beginning to look quite nice. We can see, Stuart pans over to these here. You can see that they're beginning to green up quite nicely, look nice and lush. The leaf expansion is looking pretty good. This one here is a 1975 Wallace. And you can see there's the mere there, that's looking a bit sort of twisted. It's got nowhere near the vigour as the Wallace, so unfortunately, because it's obviously nice to have a proven seed in, it looks like the mere will be going today. It's not going to be totally wasted, because what we're going to do is I'm going to take a leaf sample from all the plants that we rogue out today, and I'm going to send that off, and that'll give us a really good indication of what's actually in our plants. We'll also be sending a soil sample away, and that'll give us some information. By the end of next week we'll know exactly what's going on in our soil and our plants together, and that's quite important. That obviously in the plant gives you a better indication of what's in the soil, but you do need the two together if you can afford it. So at the moment we're looking at, out of these two, we're obviously going to keep the Wallace. The next two plants up there, we've got a Zweig. That looks like, it doesn't look quite as vigorous as this, but we're going to keep the Zweig. The far one we're going to be keeping. Stuart just quickly pans round to those. The very far one in the corner we're going to go with, we've actually got a Deuterus and a mere in there, but the Deuterus looks very good, but we're going to go with the mere, because that will end up our only mere in the patch. The far side over there we've got two absolutely identical plants from Quinn Werner, so it looks like we're going to pick out one of those. There isn't really much to choose between them. The next one along, the Zweig got a split stem, and the stem has just opened up just below the cotyledons. Although the plant looks absolutely fine and pretty much as vigorous as the rest of it, we're not sure we really like it. So we're going to go with another of Quinn's plants. And the very far corner over there, unfortunately, we're going to have to lose the mere, because the mere's got a load of shot holing in it. We don't like the shot holing. It's probably not the end of the world, but so we're going to be going with, help me out with that one, Stuart?
The Martin.
We're going to go with the Martin on that.
And the Martin's more vigorous.
The Martin's also, like this one, it's more vigorous. I don't know what it is, maybe first year out, the seed, the first time you plant a seed, when they're fresh seeds, they do tend to have a bit more vigour to start with. So, and it certainly shows here that all our three unproven plants that we're looking like keeping are going to have ended up slightly bigger leaves and a bit more sort of go about them. I'm going to talk to you a little about what we do for our bug control and pest control for the year. We use an integrated control plan, so we're using some chemicals and we're using some friendly bugs. First of all, a little bit about the friendly bugs. I'm going to start off with a bit of scarab control, because that is a problem for us. So we're putting on these little acetate beetles, and hopefully Stuart can just pan on there. And you might be able to see the little beetles running around. Okay, well these are absolutely excellent little things. The best thing about the beetles are they can actually fly, and I've just seen a few fly out of here now. So you don't have to be as accurate as you would be with some of the other control measures that we put down. We're putting on things like mites and nematodes, and obviously nematodes don't move very far. Mites pretty much don't move any further either. So for the beetles can be just broadcast and they'll work their way around the patch. The mites, I won't bother showing you. These, they come in like a light sort of composty material. I think there's something like 125,000 in here, so there's probably 1,000 there. So And you can imagine they're so small, it's very important to spread them evenly around your patch. These are going to be, again, for the scarab control. They obviously got tiny little legs, and if you don't put them in where you want them, they're not really going to move far. It's going to take them days to move around this patch. We did touch on those the other day. That's nematodes. We water them in once a week, again for the scarab control. Something we'll be looking at later in the year this is a fungicide. It has no effect at all on our friendly bugs. Really important, so talk to your supplier and ask what you can match up with what. So as we've got an integrated control program, sustain is for mildew. Now you are going to get mildew in the patch. Just sort of man up to it. You know you're going to get it, so make sure you spray against it. Last year it caught even us out. It caught Medideo out as well. We got the mildew a whole month earlier than we've ever seen it before, so we'll probably be putting on 3 sprays of this at 10-day intervals, and probably starting in June this year. Normally wouldn't bother starting until July, but as we saw it last year earlier, we're just going to take it that we are going to get it this year early. For the aphids, we're going to use Chess and Invigorator. Chess is for the aphids. Again, it mixes well with this. We might even put some friendly bugs on so we can get a aphid line. Lots of little different wasps and things that will attack the aphids. But we'll probably be spraying this a couple of times a year at 10-day intervals. And we mix it up with Plant Invigorator. That's basically all good stuff in there. For the red spider mite, we'll probably, and we do get red spider mite, you're not going to see it probably outside, but you will see it inside, pretty much guaranteed. You're going to start seeing that at about May time. They work on the same sort of time as chrysanthemums producing a bud. So when you get to about the middle of May, that's when red spiders start to get active in the plant. So we're going to probably spray in a couple of weeks' time, and we'll probably do that again at 10-day intervals. So you're trying to get all the different stages. We can either put in some Phytocetus specimilis, which we might do, and we might do it as a joint thing. So we might put in Phytocetus specimilis. That's a friendly bug that's going to attack them, and we'll probably put on a spray that is friendly enough that doesn't damage that either, because red spider mite can absolutely decimate your plants. You normally see it with webbing. If you have a really good, if the leaves are looking a bit grey on top, look for your oldest leaves first, probably the ones down the middle of the stem. Have a look underneath the leaf and you'll see like 2 little pinheads of 2 little bugs running around. So have a good look. Really important, just keep looking under your leaves and checking around your plant. And I think that's about it for this week. So we'll see you next week in the patch and see how things are going.